Snack manufacturers are responding to record inflation by reducing the size of their prepackaged products, with Frito-Lay confirming that there are about 5 fewer chips in your standard bag of Doritos than before the pandemic. I want everyone here to reflect on the fact that we have talked about so many dark and terrible things in the world, and that is the first one you people booed. Think about what it took for you guys to hiss and boo. Tom Brady and fewer Doritos in the bag. You're the problem. We're the problem. Let's get into it. What a week. Donald Trump told the Washington Examiner this week that people would not accept Mike Pence as his vice president again should he decide to run in 2024. Mike Pence. He went from a bad hang to a good hang to a bad hang again. Trump's deal-making prowess is on full view. He's making a shrewd compromise with Republican voters who would prefer to see Pence publicly murdered. In an interview published Monday, Ginny Thomas, wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, says she attended the January 6th rally, but left before rioters broke into the Capitol because she got cold. I don't think I brought a windbreaker instead of a fleece to the insurrection is the alibi she thinks it is. When announcing Doug Emhoff's positive COVID test, President Biden said Kamala Harris would not be in attendance with a goof which elicited laughter and a correction.
There's been a little change in the arrangement of who's on the stage because of the First Lady's husband contracting COVID, but...
I'm glad it was a mix-up, because that is a weird way to tell Biden he has COVID. I don't know why, but for some reason that reminds me of that old, it was a mime teaser from the 90s where the punchline was, "The doctor is a woman." Remember that? Meanwhile, Russia placed sanctions against President Biden, Jen Psaki, Hillary Clinton, and Hunter Biden, among other individuals. No Russian Papa John's for you. Joe Manchin told a room full of energy sector executives that they should expect a return on investment from politicians seeking donations, or in Manchin's word, mother's milk. Ugh. A phrase that made every actual mother's milk production stop worldwide. It's tough, that phrase, mother's milk. Ugh. I don't know, yuck. Oh, give me mother's milk. Asking for money from these people. Don't talk about that. Sucking on their oil teats. I'm just saying, you take it to its logical conclusion. That's what he's saying. Num, num, num. Num, nums for Joe Manchin. Not on the card. Idaho Lieutenant Governor Janice McGeachin stormed off after a reporter asked why she would speak at a conference headlined by a known white supremacist. Let's roll the clip.
As I said, I don't know him. I've never met him. I don't know, what he's, everything that he says or doesn't say does not reflect on who I am or who the thousands of others that are participating in this movement.
Okay. You didn't bother to look up his name or anything?
I didn't say that.
She did not see his name. This week, Nancy Pelosi and House Democrats floated some new midterm messaging, specifically the slogan, "Democrats deliver." Unless they're delivering Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema to the ghost of Christmas future, I'm not sure it's really going to work. But if you ask me, I'm feeling something a little more timely. Gas in every tank, puberty blockers in every lunchbox. Controversial, get the people talking. Unbeknownst to Speaker Pelosi, the White House had tested several slogans, including Democrats Deliver, which tested near the absolute bottom. When reached for comment, the absolute bottom said, "Hi." Doesn't mean a goddamn thing. It's just, we've invented a character in the world, the absolute bottom. Speaking of Nancy Pelosi, she also had to explain what happened when the Irish Prime Minister was abruptly yanked out of an event following a positive COVID test moments after President Biden addressed the room.
Taoiseach had on a mask when he sat down, but then when he started to eat, he took off the mask, and then was right during the appetizer. They called him aside. We didn't know why. Some of it while he was eating, but it was during the appetizer that they took him away.
It's a classic Irish goodbye. It's also that is the first line of the next great American novel. Forget Call Me Ishmael. It was during the appetizer that they took him away. I love it. A new study highlighting the rising threat of violence from incels was released Tuesday by the Secret Service's National Threat Assessment Center. Those stuck-up bitches. After railing against critical race theory for months, Missouri Governor Tate Reeves signed a bill into law on Monday titled Critical Race Theory, Prohibit. The actual text doesn't reference critical race theory at any point, but it does prohibit teaching that any sex, race, ethnicity, religion, or national origin is inherently superior or inferior, which is them being so thoroughly bought into their own bullshit that they're accidentally full circle and banning their own bullshit. LGBTQ Disney employees and allies staged a series of walkouts this week, beginning on Tuesday in protest of Florida's Don't Say Gay bill. Some employees walked out for several hours, but the ones with Fast Pass were back at their desks in 20 minutes. This is pretty cool. You get more protests in that way. It's extra. It feels unfair. It's like weird. Like it's supposed to be the happy, magical place, but there's still just rapacious capitalism inside. Then again, in all of their movies, there's rapacious capitalism. The goal is to become a princess, not to kill the prince. Noticeably absent from the protests were Chip and Dale, who were in Provincetown. Dolly Parton declined her nomination to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as she is not a rock artist, but says the gesture has inspired her to release her first rock album. Kind of a fuck you to give the nomination to Jolene instead, though. Tom Brady announced his decision to unretire after 2 months and plans to return to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brady explained, maybe this is all the concussions talking, but almond butter smoothie. We don't know if we can say that, but we know we have to say it now because in 15 years, we definitely can't. Look, in fairness to Tom, I've also had difficulty walking away from an all-consuming pastime that makes me a stranger to my family and causes brain damage, which is Twitter. New reports confirm hotter temperatures due to climate change will extend allergy season in both the fall and spring. Fall and spring allergy seasons are going to meet in the middle like high school sweethearts who went to 2 different colleges. Still waiting on one news report, one ever, that says climate change is causing something cool, like better chocolate or more parrots. Like, every change is bad. What are the odds of that? It's never one unexpected side effect of climate change is apples are doubling in size. It's always jellyfish, ticks, and hay fever on Christmas. Bullshit. An Ecuadorian frog who was thought to have been mute since it was discovered 100 years ago was finally discovered making vocalizations that sounded like a cricket chirping. Said the frog on its 100 years of silence, maybe you should have, I don't know, stopped talking for 5 seconds to ask me a question. We actually have audio of the frog vocalizing for the first time in 100 years. Can we play that clip?
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire.
Cool. In a shift away from their main business of movie theaters, AMC bought 22% of a Nevada silver and gold mining company. Classic synergy. That's it. Dakota Johnson will be co-starring in Marvel's new film, Madame Web, which is part of the Spider-Man universe. The villain will be Ellen. On Tuesday, on the Today Show, Hoda Kotb and Maria Shriver introduced the world to the dating concept of oystering.
It refers to somebody who enjoys their independence, viewing the world as their oyster.
It's just introduced the concept of optimism. Welcome to Today's Show in the third hour, optimism. What is it? How do you get it? Oystering. Approach the raw bar at your own risk. Oystering is not to be confused with clamming, a new trend where you share nothing with the world and die alone crawling on the ground. Another option. Let me get this straight. You date, and you're hopeful about it. We're going to name this something very obvious. Oystering. Snack manufacturers are responding to record inflation by reducing the size of their prepackaged products, with Frito-Lay confirming that there are about 5 fewer chips in your standard bag of Doritos than before the pandemic. I want everyone here to reflect on the fact that we have talked about so many dark and terrible things in the world And that is the fucking first one you people booed. Think about what it took for you guys to hiss and boo. Tom Brady and fewer Doritos in the bag. You're the problem. We're the problem. In a great way. In a great way. In a great way. We all need 5 more Doritos? Come on. Come on. I'm still mad about when they changed Cooler Ranch to Cool Ranch. We were moving in the wrong direction. We should be striving as a culture, as a society, for the coolest ranch. A ranch that is only theoretically possible. A ranch that is 0 degrees Kelvin. A ranch where all molecular motion has halted. A ChickFilA in Santa Barbara might be deemed a public nuisance due to its long drive-through line. It's like, sure, I make several trips a day in different cars wearing various wigs, but a public nuisance. It is fucking nuts. It sucks. It sucks. It's any ChickFilA, it is a hazard. Highland and fucking it's nuts. You can't deal with it. The whole fucking city is shut down. How much of our traffic is due to these goddamn ChickFilAs? And also, being in the line sucks too. Because sometimes at these ChickFilAs I've read in my books, those Bible thumpers at ChickFilA HQ, they know what they're doing. And they pick corners, all right? They pick corners, which means 2 entrances. You pick the wrong entrance, you look over there are people fucking sliding in. You've been waiting there for 15 minutes, hypothetically. And then all of a sudden you're like, I'm an adult. I've been waiting 30 minutes. Shouldn't I have gotten more than just a 1 meal? Shouldn't this be the kind of thing you do for a few people? You can't get a quick snack at a ChickFilA on your way home. It's like, if I'm only, this is a $9 transaction. You know what I'm talking about. You feel like such a fucking idiot. It's fast food. Meanwhile, the McDonald's, nobody gives a fuck. You can go right there. Is it that much better? No, it's different. It's a different option. It's a different option. It's not better than McDonald's. It's a different option. Too long on this. You're ready for me to move forward. And finally, a lead coffin believed to date back to the 14th century was discovered under Notre Dame Cathedral as builders repair the landmark following the devastating 2019 fire. We don't know what's in the coffin, but we know it has been slow cooked to perfection. Now it's time for the hyperwheel. On the wheel this week, we've got adult acne, coffee, Dolly Parton turning down the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Los Angeles allergy season, the Great British Bake Off, electric trucks, and Hollywood premieres. Pandora, you are up first. It has landed on Dolly Parton turning down the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and apparently you are offended.
So, yes, I am offended, but I'm offended for the right reasons because Dolly Parton deserves every award that we can give her. Dolly Parton is our modern day messiah, and she should have every award. We should bow down to Dolly Parton. We should try to live like Dolly Parton. I mean, maybe not all of, lesbians, you can't, because it's too much. But Dolly Parton is so great that it's just like she turned down the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame honor. That she's like, no, I can't because I don't really do rock and roll. Bitch. Yes, you do. You're rock and roll, you're pop, you're everything. And I'm really, but I respect her because I'm like, she turns down awards. I'm like, I just want an award. I just want to win a challenge on a reality show that I've lost 3 times. And Dolly Parton's turning down awards. And I aspire to be like Dolly Parton, and I want her surgeon's number. And I don't want the boobs though. They seem very heavy.
They seem very heavy. Come on, Dolly Parton. Accept the honor. Sick of people turning down cool things.
Take everything. Take it all, Dolly.
Take it all. Give it up for Pandora Boxx. It has landed on electric trucks. Your position is effusive.
Yes! Electric trucks, this is the Trojan horse to bring the right and left and center together. It's a truck. It's so masculine. Look at all the things you can stuff in the back. That's masculine. Wait, it runs on electricity? I'm on the left. That's what I love. My whole thing is electricity. My solar panels, the plugs in the wall. What? You know me, a classic liberal. I walk around my house looking at every plug in the wall and go, that's my thing politically. I wish I could plug my car into this thing in my house. But my car isn't strong enough or big enough to crash through my living room window and plug itself in. Wait, you're telling me there is something that could do that? Electric trucks!
Fantastic. Green, but can still just mow down pedestrians. The dream.
Oh, absolutely. It's everyone's dream.
Everyone's
right?
dream. Josh, you are up. It has landed on coffee, and your position is exasperated.
Good. Exasperated works for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Wow, that's a performance. That was
coffee should be hot. Because, like, people, when you drink the coffee and it's hot, it's actually aromatic and you can smell it and you can taste it. What do people love about coffee? They love the great coffee aroma. You don't get the aroma off of a cold beverage. You get it off of a hot beverage. And also, when it's hot, that means you have to drink it at a reasonable pace, like an adult. You sip your coffee. And yet people will get these fucking giant iced coffees and they're like, oh, well, it's summer, it's hot, I have to drink something cold. Well, like, when are you drinking coffee? You're probably drinking coffee like at 8 a.m. when the temperature's still reasonable. Maybe you're drinking it indoors where it is air conditioned. You can have hot coffee even in the summer. And yet, all of these gluttons will just have this like giant,
Josh, I want you to know something.
Yes.
All across the country right now,
Yes.
right-wing governments are passing anti-trans bills. They are passing don't say gay bills. They are attacking our community. They are banning the books by queer authors. That is the most anti-gay thing I have heard in fucking weeks. And I want you to know something. Every Thursday night, I get a iced triple espresso with 3 pumps sugar-free vanilla and a splash of half and half with a straw that I drink on my way here. And then buzz around my house on the ceiling till 3 a.m. Shame on you.
Shame on me.
You.
Shame
You're
on
right.
you.
You're right. I can't smell or taste it. That's because it's basically a fucking IV, and I love it.
You know, people say this like gays love iced coffee thing. Isn't that just because you can't say gays love cocaine on Twitter? Like,
You can't say gays love cocaine on Twitter?
People don't like to. I don't know.
Can't gays like cocaine and iced coffee?
They can. They can.
I consider iced coffee the cocaine of things you can have at work. All right, fine. Josh likes that. I would just say, much like my position on daylight saving time, if you want hot coffee, good for you.
I don't want the law against iced coffee. I don't want like the don't say iced coffee bill.
All right. Lennon, you're up. It has landed on the Great British Bake Off.
Oh, God.
And apparently,
no.
you're apparently disappointed.
Okay. When the fuck is the Great British Bake Off next season coming? Because I need it. And I don't understand why Britain generally doesn't understand how much we need to mainline it, much like gays and cocaine is what I'm hearing, right?
You bet.
Like I need like da-da-da-da-da, much like I needed the Downton Abbey theme. I need it to soothe me in times of war, in times of crazy mayhem and attacks on our children. I need a German man who plays the trombone with his family out of a Brighton Beach window just because, and then shows up with a kugel that will blow your mind. I mean, and I need the wit of a British host. I need the wit of a British person that just grew up baking curries. I need it now, and I don't know why the producing team of the Great British Bake Off doesn't understand. Get it to me and get it now.
Now. It has landed on Hollywood premieres. My position is condescending. All right, well, I bring that to every rant, so it's fine. It's not a big deal for me to go to a Hollywood premiere. In fact, I get invited to them all the time. And once in a while, I go. And last night, I went to a Hollywood premiere hosted by one of the biggest streaming services in the world for a new offering that is coming out very soon. And you park, you get your ticket, you do the COVID test, you show them your vaccine card, you show them your thing, you get your wristband, you get your ticket to the after party. Because of course, again, just because I'm trying to be condescending, not everyone gets invited to the smaller after party. But of course I did.
I got it.
And plan to go because I'm going to know a lot of people there.
Yeah, good for you.
Fuck. And I'm telling you that what I saw on screen was one of the most beautiful and interesting and entertaining. I learned a lot from this show. I thought it was genuinely fantastic. There is a truly fantastic show coming out very soon. It is beautiful and poignant, and it is about diversity and adversity, and I was moved and interested. I can't wait for it to come out so I can watch more. And there's a reason I'm not telling you the name of this show. And that is because there was a snafu. And the snafu was that they didn't tell us that we needed a validation sticker when we were leaving. And so I got up to the end and I had to choose as to whether or not I would simply live in this parking lot forever or pay $21 to leave money that I would basically be using to subsidize one of the largest corporations in the history of planet Earth. And so I tell you now, and I think one of the reasons they invite me to such a thing, again, condescending, is because I have a huge audience. It's fun, the cover of saying it's because the wheel told me to talk this way. What a gift. And I want nothing more than to tell all of you about this show and its name and the streaming service on which it will air. But I will not tell you this until that giant fucking mega corporation sends me $21. And I hope they do, because I really want to tell you more about it, because I fucking loved it. It's truly excellent, and it's coming out soon. And that's the Hyperwheel.
Believe it, it's love it, believe it.